Now, Wednesday, the WWE, they were over there at CES and they announced the launch of the WWE Network. This network, which is estimated to cost WWE a whopping $40 million, will be launching February 24th, 2014 at 11:05 p.m. Eastern after Raw goes off the air. The network, which consists of original programming, the entire WCW, WWE, ECW catalog, all 12 major WWE pay-per-views, NXT, replays of Raw, SmackDown, pre and post Raw and SmackDown shows, over 300,000 videos, giving an estimated 100,000 hours or more programming at the touch of your fingertips 24/7. This move made by WWE now has its respected pros and cons, and the wrestling community definitely divided. Let's address all of this by starting off with the cons. Now, many argue that WWE, the network that is, the WWE Network, is not a network, but instead is some form of an app. Some feel it's a ripoff of Netflix or Hulu Plus, and that it's not visionary or groundbreaking. To those that feel this way, let me just say this. WWE is the first major wrestling promotion to step into this new distribution of entertainment. WWE tried for a few years now to get this network distributed to cable providers, but they met a lot of resistance as those providers felt it was too much of a gamble and that there wouldn't be serious profit to be made by a WWE network. These same providers also felt that the network would fail. Now, with the success of Total Divas on the E! Network and the many hit original web series launched on WWE's WWE Fan Nation YouTube channel, it proved to the company that they could succeed with their content as they had a following. The way WWE utilized platforms like YouTube, Hulu Plus, the WWE app, when you really think about it in retrospect, it all served as a purpose of being a soft launch for the WWE Network, which faced so many rejections. Now, with regards to it being a Netflix or Hulu ripoff, I will admit, yes, there are similarities, folks, but with Hulu and Netflix, you'll find that it's nothing more, honestly, than a collection of movies, TV shows from every genre you can think of, with the new trend being new original programming. Even with the programming premiering on these respective mediums, there's no set time to watch. You can just go in the day the shows will be released and watch. The WWE Network is accessible 24/7 and there is specific programs on at each time of day or night. And if you don't like what you see, guess what? They got a VOD, video on demand section, where they have an extensive library of content, new and old, that one can get lost in for hours and hours. By no means is this an app. I just want to make sure we stress that. By no means is this an app. Most dictionaries would define an app as the following: a self-contained program or piece of software designed to fulfill a particular purpose, an application as provided and downloaded by a user to a mobile device. I think that pretty much sums it up, you know? The WWE Network goes beyond this, and it's mainly accessible through mandatory internet access. I want to make sure we're homing in on this. It is mainly accessible through mandatory internet access. There is just no way to access it otherwise. Depending on your respected home bandwidth, you may need to upgrade. Same thing for your respected mobile devices, tablets, etc. The WWE, I think, has been very smart in doing this move because Based on the data that's out there, I think most households nowadays are departing from the traditional cable or satellite. In most cases, it's because it's too expensive and or nothing good is on worth watching. I've personally organized focus groups and can vouch for this information that I'm telling you guys. These same households are instead going to places like Netflix or Hulu Plus for content. Now, WWE, they realize this and how folks are accessing that type of content, whether by Xbox 360, Xbox One, PS3, PS4, Roku. Folks are accessing that type of content on all of those respected mediums, even on mobile devices, YouTube, Ustream, etc. WWE has their finger pretty much on every single medium platform that's out there as they realize that change in the respected households. As far as I'm concerned, they're doing a good job of keeping up with the times. Now, still some, they may not welcome this as they wish it was part of their cable or satellite subscription. And to that I say, don't blame WWE. Blame your local cable or satellite provider. But most importantly, what you should do is contact them and let them know you want the WWE Network. Maybe with enough recorded demands, some of these providers will reach out to the company to see about distribution. Now, another thing that seems to have some people upset is the fact that the network will only be available in the United States until late 2014, early 2015, when it expands to other parts in the country. Understand this, folks. WWE will be using this time to make sure that any and all kinks are going to be taken care of for those respected countries that currently don't have access to the WWE Network come launch time. It really wouldn't surprise me if they start sending out newsletters or emails to those respected countries for beta testing volunteers. Every country is different as far as technology goes, and honestly, WWE, from their standpoint, I think they just want to make sure that everything is done right from the get-go so that once it launches, everything is just really, really smooth. And honestly, there's nothing wrong with that. So to our good friends in Ireland, the UK, Canada, please stop complaining, chill out. The wait is going to be well worth it in the very end. Now, one thing I definitely feel that really needs to be addressed right here is the WWE Network's subscription, which may be alarming to some people who feel a 6-month commitment is too much at $9.99 a month despite the great price tag. WWE said to themselves probably that they are the WWE and the fans will come flocking. What they really should have done was given strong consideration to the fact that there may be those that want to take the WWE Network on a test run and not be tied down to a contract for half the year. This is where the power of WWE's marketing should have really came into play. Now look, honestly, I think WWE, they should have had something set up where the first month, it's basically a free trial so folks can test out the network. Your credit card information would still be required, but you wouldn't be charged unless the 30-day trial period had ended and you decided you wanted to keep it going. Then WWE would begin charging $9.99 a month for 6 months. As an extra incentive, WWE could have thrown in a code for 50% off any WWE items at their WWEshop.com site as a way of saying thanks. Now, for those that sign on for a 1-year deal after their free trial expires, maybe they could have gotten a 50% code and a 20% off code to buy something from WWE Shop as a way of saying thanks. And who knows, man, maybe get a free DVD or a signed superstar or DVD card poster as an extra bonus. Now, there's still a little bit of time before launch, so WWE, they may execute that, although it's highly unlikely. Now, some people may not be able to afford an extra $10 a month overall, given the way things are with the economy, as a lot of folks are on a tight budget. These very same people may be the ones that want the WWE Network, but they can't get it. And honestly, it's an audience WWE should have considered when executing their pricing, as again, this ties into them being offered a free trial of some sorts. This may be an audience WWE will never be able to reach. Let's not also forget there is a core audience that probably don't like the fact that as a result of being tied to a contract, they won't be able to back out after seeing the Royal Rumble or WrestleMania for just $10. WWE has designed this in a way where they're really looking out for the hardcore and loyal WWE fan that's going to be with the WWE Network for the long haul. Really, it's a smart move when you think about it, as they probably would have lost millions of dollars as a result of folks just being able to back out after only seeing the Royal Rumble or WrestleMania, and they get to say, hey, I saw this for $10. You feel what I'm saying, folks? Now, let's talk about the pros of the WWE Network. First off, by the WWE Network being only $9.99 a month, this outweighs paying $40 to $60 a pop for monthly pay-per-views. You know what I'm saying? Yearly, you're looking at anywhere between $480 to $720. All of this dramatically is cut down as you're looking at $120 yearly. At $10 a month for the WWE Network, $40 to $50 of that money can now be spent on other things, be it transportation for work, maybe you want some lunch money, going to the movies, or my personal favorite, supporting independent wrestling. There are so many great indie promotions that's out there that have great talent and great matches, like Shine Wrestling, which is a promotion we cover monthly on our shows, OVW, Ring of Honor, Extreme Rising, Evolve, Wrestle One, Pro Wrestling Syndicate, Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, Dragon Gate, etc., etc. Not to mention, you can also now show support for your favorite wrestler or internet radio show or podcast that cover wrestling like us and buy some of our merchandise. It's a win-win situation when you really break it down. For the many indie promotions, this is a welcome breath of fresh air, I feel, because WWE is somewhat giving them more opportunities to step up and stand out. It's up to these promotions to capitalize on this move by WWE. Another positive to the WWE Network is the fact that WWE, in their own way, is cutting down on piracy. And as you know, piracy is something WWE has been dealing with for years in the form of illegal streams mainly. These streams and the folks that's running it are charging anywhere between $0 to $25, depending on what site you go to. And I personally can't tell you of how many people I know personally that illegally watch pay-per-views for free. It's a nasty trend that really needs to stop, and it's not really supporting the wrestling company or the talent when you really think about it. Other piracy includes folks who upload entire pay-per-views to YouTube, Daily Motion, which is a big no-no. If you don't have permission from that respective promotion, you're going to find yourself in some serious legal trouble. I can't tell you how many times I personally have opened up a message on YouTube and someone is cursing me out for not showing actual pay-per-view footage. And I always say to them, don't be a cheap ass, go order it, check out our review, or hell man, wait till it comes out on DVD, check it out that way, you save yourself an extra $20-$30 or whatever like that. WWE, let me tell you, they're being very smart in giving fans access to all of their pay-per-views from the WWE Network as a result of this whole piracy stuff, because it's dramatically cutting down on piracy to the point that I think it may run some of these illegal streams out of business. As for the folks that's always looking for freebies, well, now it appears they are going to have to put out or shut up. Now, with programs like WrestleMania Rewind, the entire ECW, WCW, and WWE library at your disposal in the VOD section of the WWE Network, you really can't go wrong in appreciating the wrestling of past and present. But I would hope in the near future WWE will entertain the idea of making their archives be available of American Wrestling Association, AWA, Georgia Championship Wrestling, Ultimate Pro Wrestling, Jim Crockett Promotions, amongst others, as I think it would be a really, really good delight for that hardcore wrestling fan. The WWE Network is no doubt raising eyebrows and concerns in the cable and satellite provider industry, as they're probably going to be reevaluating their relationship with WWE. Now, if you ask me straight up, does this mean that it's the end of WWE pay-per-views for the respected outlets? I don't think so, as there's going to be that market that doesn't care about a WWE network and just wants to check out a pay-per-view, be it monthly or seldom. I think there's always going to be that audience that's going to be willing to pay $40 to $60 a pop for a WWE pay-per-view. WWE's pay-per-view future for some cable and satellite providers will remain intact, I feel, but it does leave a gap for what would be the next big thing in pay-per-views. This gives indie wrestling promotions opportunities to try to come in and take WWE's place should many of these satellite and cable providers decide to drop WWE. Not to mention, it also creates more opportunities for MMA promotions, concerts, etc. Honestly, when you get right down to it, I'm giving my hats off to the WWE for thinking about their fans and continuing to extend their legacy, as this may be the very last big move done by Vince McMahon, who's like now in the twilight years of his career, of his life. At the end of the day, the WWE Network isn't as bad as some people are making it out to be, and honestly, I would welcome anyone to send me an email, a tweet. You can call into the show and tell me otherwise, as I do not mind having a friendly, healthy debate on this. And that's our RCWR Show Spotlight on the WWE Network. So fire off, let me know what you think on that.